and easy, carefree seemingly, but because we chose to grow our hair long, I think that was the thing, and dress in the colourful way we did. There was always this, especially in country areas, this violence bubbling underneath it. And I think why a lot of these friendships were formed was, the safety in numbers things. Like we knew a bunch of people in Dunedin and Christchurch and everywhere we went. And if you saw someone with long hair in Auckland, you'd go and talk to them, because a typical example is I did an apprenticeship as a compositor in the printing trade, which is typesetter. And the only printing school in New Zealand was in Auckland. So as a 16-year-old, you'd go up there once a year for the first 3 years of your apprenticeship and get on a train and go from Invercargill to Auckland. You'd stay at the Mangere Immigration Hostel, which was pretty rugged even back then. But I didn't. I loved it because I went out to Auckland every night and heard bands. But on the way up there on one of those journeys, a bunch of soldiers got on the desert road. This is just an example. Around Wairua or wherever it is. I'm not very comfortable even thinking about this.
I don't even need to tell you where it happened. If you could just say, I was on a train and a bunch of soldiers got on and tell us what happened.
I was on on a train.
We'll take that from the top again.
An example is I was on a train on the journey to the printing school between Wellington and Auckland, and a bunch of soldiers got on the train. Now, uniforms and long hair, although our hair was our uniform, they didn't mix. They started really hanging it on me, and of course, every now and again you'd snap. You'd generally sit there with your mouth shut, so I just stood up and said, fuck, whatever. And immediately I was set upon by about 6 of them, and there was a lot of punching and kicking and belting. No one in the carriage, they wandered off. No one took any notice. So I was just glad I was away from home for a month. So the fat lips and the black eyes and that had gone down by the time I got home, so I didn't have to explain to my mother, what was happening out there, because, she was a cool lady and you didn't want to worry them any more than they probably were already anyway. But it was a violent time, and that's just one example of it.
Okay, so you want to start with the first harmonica, or just harmonicas in general? What would you like?
Well, let's just say, maybe Dave could say something, this is my suitcase, or whatever I call it, it's full of my harmonicas, and then perhaps Dave, and this one in particular, we'll start with the first one. Right?
Okay, so Dave, just what are we looking at here, Dave?
This is my travelling blues show. These are my harmonicas. Lots of different sharps, flats, different keys, styles, chord harmonicas, solo harmonicas, jazz harmonicas. Because I never know who I'm going to be playing with, or...
That's quite noisy when you move your legs.
Do you want me to hold it?
Yeah, clear.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, you're right.
What if it just sits on the...
I'm not saying yes, Spencer, no, Spencer.
Nope.
Okay.
Let's start again from the top then, eh?
There's a couple in every key in case one blows out. The sharps, flats, chords, all kinds of things there. I recently found this at home. This is my very first harmonica. When my grandmother died, I had visions of stardom, I think, because I've autographed it. And on the back of it there's a date, the 26th of the 6th, 1964. Now, my grandmother died around that time, and they inherited a little bit of money. We had nothing, and we were all asked what we wanted, my brother and sister and I. I think my brother got a new bed, my sister got a bike and some dolls, and I'd just heard the Stones not fade away or something around then, and all I wanted was this. Although I didn't really want this at all, because this is a chord harmonica, not designed for playing blues. Now, I obviously practiced a lot because I'm going to demonstrate something here. There's no notes left. I was very pleased to get this when my mother died. My brother picked this up, and he gave it to me years later. But I remember going home with records and there's a double row of holes here. The blues harmonicas, the diatonics, have a single row of holes. So this is a thing like this, which you play chords on, which is like an accordion thing. Now, the diatonic harp, which is what the Stones and them were playing, this is the blues harp, which is a very different in sound. I knew it wasn't quite right, so I had this thing. I was holding it like this, go, trying to get the single notes out of it, and that's the way I wore it out. And when the Unknown Blues started, this was my harmonica. I'd get home from school every night, play this in the key of G, along with Stones, Yardbirds records, everything, finding notes that worked, all in the wrong key. So when I met Vaughan Mackay's and that, when I'm an A, you need a D harp, E you're an A, and I picked up one of these and went straight away, because I've been practicing on the wrong thing for about a year, but I'd got it down. So when I got the right harmonica, it almost felt like I was very, don't want to sound too big-headed, I guess that's why my hair fell out though, my swelled head. It was like I was quite good right away, because as soon as I got the right instrument, I'd had this year practicing on the wrong thing, and it all fell into place. And I haven't stopped playing. So there you go, that's the rig.
And just before we move on, I just got to get a few.
Yeah, that's neat though. They got them neat.
Well, when I play those Cajun-y things, they sound really good.
I got one.
And can you pick up that? Can you take that old harmonica?
This one?
And just just hold it up so I can get it close up. The holes pointing towards me.
There you go.
So that's the one you start. That's a chord.
And it's mainly used for playing chords. I've discovered using these kind of harmonicas in later years after not picking them up, that when I started hearing Louisiana French Cajun music, whacking one of those through a microphone, through a decent amplifier, you can get the sound of a piano accordion. So I was in a band that was doing a lot of Cajun songs for a while, and I found use for the old chord harmonica.